everyone, my name is Haley and I'm a UNCP nursing student. Today I have a presentation for you about exercise for adults in their 20s. So, from this presentation, you should get information about how much exercise adults in their 20s need, what kind of exercise they can do to meet this need, the physical, emotional, and mental benefits for this exercise, and how to safely do it. So let's get started. All the information in this presentation has been gathered from the Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans, which is published by the Department of Health and Human Services. You can find any of this information online. You can just Google Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans, and it will come up. There's different breakdowns for ages, groups. It's really easy to navigate. So let's hop right into it. Let's talk about how much exercise adults in their 20s need. So, if you look on the guidelines list the fact that adults need to be generally active. So we want to avoid sitting as much as we can. Yes, we need to rest. Rest is crucial for growth and development, but we want to generally remain active. Get up and walk around your office, your house, your home, whatever you need to do. But let's get specific for a minute. So, in terms of moderate intensity exercise, on a weekly basis, a 20-year-old adult or an adult in their 20s should be getting 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity exercise. Now, there's a different variety of things you can do to accomplish this task, but I'll get to those in a minute. So, if you don't want to do moderate activity, we can step it up to vigorous intensity. So, vigorous intensity exercise, we need 75 to 150 minutes of exercise. So there's different activities for this as well. We'll hop in a minute. But let's just think in general that for every minute of moderate intensity exercise you complete, it's equal to about 2 minutes of vigorous. So you can cut it in half a little bit. Okay, so the benefit of the range. So we talked about 150 to 300 minutes and 75 to 150 minutes. So after you pass that 150 mark of moderate exercise, moderate intensity, as you increase the exercise to that 300 minutes, your health benefits will only increase. The same goes for the 75 to 150. The more you pass that 75 to that 150, the more benefits you'll see. So we've talked about the ranges and how much we need. Well, we need aerobic activity and muscle strengthening activity. We want to see muscle strengthening at least 2 days during the week. So I'll do a demonstration on how you can do that at home during Corona season in just a few minutes. But first, let's talk about what kind of exercises we can do to reach these needs. So let's start with moderate intensity. Moderate intensity exercise is not your highest level of exertion. It's about in the middle, moderate, you would say. So there's different ways to do moderate intensity exercise. Some of them you may do on a weekly basis and not even realize it. An example would be yard work. Working in your yard, doing moderate activity, getting your heart rate up a little bit, being active, working in the raking up leaves, different ways, that's moderate activity. You may do it every week and not realize that you're contributing to your 150 minutes. Some other things are walking in a fast pace. Robeson County is full of parks. There's parks in every town or city in Robeson County that I know of. So grab a friend, take your dog, go for a walk. Walk a few miles. Go for a 30-minute walk 5 days a week and you've got your 150 minutes. It's not that hard. There's other activities like bicycling at a lower pace, exercise classes, yoga, all kinds. But if you want to step it up a notch and cut your time in half, you can do the vigorous activity. And this is your running, your jogging. You may run 1 mile, you may run 10. It's on an individual basis. Do what you can do. Vigorous dancing is vigorous intensity. Heavy yard work, digging in those bushes, getting really down and dirty, getting your heart rate to its real high maximal levels. HIIT training, high intensity interval training. You can do that at home very easily. hiking, get outside, socially distant from other people. You can hike and do that. So that's a few activities you can do to get that muscle moving and get some aerobic activity. So muscle strengthening. Let's talk about that. So I have an example. During this corona season, a lot of people do not want to go to the gym. They don't want to wear a mask at the gym. They want to be at home, but still need that muscle strengthening. Everyone does. So I have a demonstration to show you how you can do it at home. Now, I did this in about 15 seconds this morning. It's very easy to do. You can do it with anything. So what I did, I'll show you. I grabbed 2 large cans of green beans, and what I can do is turn these into weights. You don't have to have weights at home to do these exercises or to strengthen your muscles. You just need something to hold on to that's more than your body weight. So these are only 2.5 pounds each, but I'm using more than just my arm. So I can work my shoulders and back. I can work my arms. I can work my triceps. All different muscle groups. I can do this for 15 minutes back and forth and get half of a workout done for one day. It's very simple. Just be creative with it and try to make it fun. There are several ways to accomplish these goals. So, some benefits of this exercise. What does it mean for you? Well, if you meet these minimum baseline requirements of the 150 moderate or the 75 vigorous, you'll see lower rates of all-cause mortality. You might live a little longer. You see lower rates of heart disease, lower rates of diabetes, type 2 specifically, and in Robeson County, type 2 diabetes is a very big problem. We reduce the risk for that. We reduce risk for obesity. Most people who work out want to lose weight. Very easy to do when you're meeting these requirements. You can see a happier personality. It's proven that when you exercise, you have better sleep, better cognitive function. You will retain things better. Just being active is so good for your mental body, your physical body, your emotional body. Bone health increases with exercise. You know, what we think about is that as we are young, we do have our whole life, but what we do now impacts our future years. So think about osteoporosis. We want to avoid things like that, okay? So try to meet these requirements. It's not that hard. So lastly, talk about safety. So when we exercise, we want to be aware of our bodies and what we're putting ourselves through. So if you have a heart condition, you want to monitor your heart rate while you're exercising. Don't push yourself to the point of getting hurt. Do what you can do with what you can manage, but be safe. If you have breathing problems, be aware of your shortness of breath. If you have asthma, use your inhaler. Now, an inhaler is most helpful if you use it 30 to 60 minutes before exercise begins. Be aware of this to help you have the best exercise you can have. Now, when someone comes to me as a nurse, we're going to want to see, that heart rate. Is it low? It may be normal because athletes may have lower heart rates. It may be high. We want to see this. So another thing to remember is your musculoskeletal system. I want to see your range of motion. How to protect that? Stretch. Stretch before you exercise. Make sure you're taking care of your joints and your muscles, but stay active. I thank you for your attention today. I hope you learned about how much exercise an adult needs in their 20s, what kind of exercise they can do to meet their needs for this, the benefits, and how to safely exercise. I appreciate your time.